Hi, I'm Ed Smith. Here we go again. More phony campaigning by our opponents in this upcoming election. You know, you're seeing a lot of stuff about overdevelopment in the town, in particular downtown areas, Huntington Village. You know, there's a phrase, bring the receipts. So I went to the archives. These are all public records of the actual development going on in the town. It should be noted that I've never approved a single apartment building in Huntington Village. In fact, I increased the parking requirements, the off-street parking requirements for any development in Huntington Village, which effectively stopped the development. The buildings that you see going on in Huntington Village right now were either approved prior to me becoming supervisor of town council, or the zoning board granted relief. And curiously, here's a couple of things you might find interesting. If you've ever had a problem finding parking in Huntington Village, well, maybe you should have a conversation with John Pasilico and the Save Huntington crowd. 38 New Street, convert office space to mixed-use apartments and request parking relief. Application granted. John Pasilico from Save Huntington votes yes. 355 New York Avenue. This is across from the Paramount. Convert second floor to 10 apartments. Request special use permit utilizing municipal parking for it. They have zero parking. Application granted. I think that's across from the Paramount. 283 feet south of Main Street. John Pasilico from Save Huntington votes yes. 356 New York Avenue. That's across the street from the other one. That's the corner of New York Avenue and Elm Street, to convert second floor into apartments and erect a third story for apartments. Zero parking. Application granted by the zoning board. John Pasilico from Save Huntington votes yes. See a pattern here? You know, John Pasilico, nice guy. Average intellect, below average performance on the zoning board, to be sure. 255 Hookshank LLC. This is the corner of New York Avenue and Union Place. This is the apartment building behind Albert's Mandarin. They were supposed to have, the requirement was for 174 parking spaces. They had 50. So they needed a variance for 124 parking spaces. That's bigger than the municipal parking lot next to it, which the applicant seeks permission to use the municipal parking lot for their apartment building. Application granted. John Pasilico votes yes. Save Huntington. John Pasilico. 71 New Street. This is the apartment building that I referenced in my previous video. The one that was built by Greg DeRosa. Follow the money. See who he's supporting. That's important. Erect a second and third floor addition for apartments. Request the use of municipal parking to meet his parking requirements. Application granted. John Pasilico from Save Huntington votes yes. I could go on. There's all sorts of these applications. John Pasilico and the Save Huntington crowd, they're gaslighting you. They're trying to tell you that they're going to save Huntington from this overdevelopment. They caused it. These are the arsonists putting out their own fire. These people deserve each other, but Huntington deserves better. I believe they're impotent in their current positions, and I think it's best that they remain so. So I'm asking you to support myself, Dave Bernardo, and Greg Rizopoulos in the upcoming election. Thank you.